Hey guys, we're back. It's been a few days since we posted a video. Been busy around here. It's been really rainy and really windy. Whoa. Hang out for a minute, we got a little project for the day. Been busy around here, getting the firewood processed. Some of it's getting chopped. I think there's 3 different areas we're processing wood at right now. We've got this pallet area, this storage area we've made out of pallets, almost full. There's a little space over there on the side that needs to get filled in. That, I figure, is about 1.5 cords of wood. They figure a cord of wood is 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot, however you want to do those dimensions. The pallets are 12 foot long. It's a little bit more than 4 foot tall, and it's a little bit less than 3 feet, or a little bit less than 4 foot wide. So if you average it all out, that's about 1.5 cords of wood. We're figuring on 3 to 4 cords of wood this winter, being a small space to heat, and the amount of wood we've gone through so far, we don't go through it so fast. So 3 cords hopefully last us all winter. If I can get 4 cords processed and kind of process as we're going, we'll be okay. But this is already full and I need someplace else to put more wood. I've got 3 more blue pallets over there. Sorry about the glare from the sun. 3 more blue pallets over there and a couple other regular pallets on the side over there that I can make another area just like this one. Or I can add on to this one. There's a spot between 2 trees that I could set up just like this, but it's got a couple stumps in between them that I'd have to dig up because I can't get my backhoe back here right now to dig them up for me or make it easier to dig up. I wish my backhoe worked by itself. That'd be great. I'd have to dig those up by hand, and that's a pain. That's a lot of work. Probably a day's worth of work just to dig up a couple stumps. I can also stick the pallets right in front of these and just make this area bigger, which could work, but I have no trees to lean the pallets up against like I do here. So I'd have to find a way to tie the pallets together. So let me think about this real quick, get these pallets kind of lined up over here, see if it's even a thought that might work. This pallet's a little shorter. What you looking at, dog? What you figure? Is that gonna work? Does it smell good? Goofy. I'll get some stakes, stake in behind here, hold it up. Fit Farmer just put out a video where he used the same idea without the trees. Just put stakes right in here to hold this up. There isn't a lot of pressure that goes up against these, especially if you put them straight up and down, which these over here are not because they're up against the bottom of the pallets and leaning up against the trees. But I could put some stakes in here to hold these up, and that would keep all our wood in the same place. So I think I like having all my wood stacked in one spot. What I had thought about, the reason I thought about making a separate stack is that we could cycle through one stack. When we started on the second stack over here, we could fill that one back up, tarp it really good so it would stay really dry. Because this wood is all basically green, sometimes we have a hard time starting a fire because I just dropped it at the most of 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago, if I get a tree that I first dropped making the driveway. It's all pretty green, and it doesn't, if it gets rained on, it just stays wet. So I thought about cycling through, having one over there and one over here, cycling through, and I could keep track of which one I was working off of. But if I put all the wood here and I work from one end over and fill in as I go, so it would start to V out You'd work on that side, and you'd basically have a V in the middle where you stacked the green, the freshly cut on that side, and it came over. And you'd fill up, and then you'd start again. I don't even know if I'd need all of this firewood for this winter, but that's kind of the thought process behind that, if it makes sense. Always grabbing from one side and then working your way over and backfilling with fresh cut, so the fresh cut doesn't get used for a while. I will have to get a bigger tarp. That tarp is off the awning for the travel trailer that we brought out here. I have no way of really tying it down, and the wind loves to blow it off of there when a rainstorm comes through. So in the middle of the night, the wind blows the tarp off, dumps rain on all our firewood. Yeah, it's a fight right now. And this isn't permanent. This isn't the way it's gonna stay. We'll eventually have a wood shed with a permanent cover on it, but that might be a next year project. So let me get a couple tools out and level the ground underneath this. Get this thing going. I've got these pallets set up. I've got this one kind of wedged in with a couple pieces of wood behind it so it stands upright. I'm gonna run one of these stakes down through this side. Kind of hold it up. I'll take a couple of these scrap pieces of wood that I milled. I'll kind of scab them together, give them a little more strength. Hopefully that works. I don't see why it wouldn't. Hold this a little more upright than it needs to be. So we've got our expansion done. We've got 6 pallets on the ground, 2 pallets on the sides. We've got a stake. If you can see it, got a stake run through the pallets because they're not leaning up against a tree. And then a couple boards scabbed on the back to tie the 2 pallets together really strong. Same thing done over there. Stake run through the end of it, a couple boards scabbed onto them to hold them together really strong. So this pallet rack system with 6 pallets on the ground and pallets standing straight up, which these aren't perfectly straight up, but we're not going to worry about that. Did some calculations, or should I say the wife did some calculations. This will hold 2.5 cords of wood, flush with the top. This has kind of been the project for the day. Get this made so I can get back to splitting wood and get this thing filled up. I do have a friend of mine that's going to let me borrow a log splitter. It's going to make this process go a little bit quicker. I can have the wife on the log splitter. I can still split with them all. Have the kids stacking it in here. Hopefully, within a couple days, this thing's full up. We'll see. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell for notifications. There goes my tarp. Until next time, guys, go make something.